Only a few weeks post-launch, and this thing is one of the most popular guitars on the market. After getting it, I immediately understood why. It's comfortable, and it is versatile. But before unpacking that, I want you to hear how it sounds pure and direct. I didn't expect this warmth and this range from Gibson's P90s in here. I've experienced Gibson's P90s in a Les Paul in the past, and I didn't like them. But in this one, Epiphone's double cut, there's a mellowness and a transparency to them. They're very responsive. Those are traits that are perfect for any application I could have for a guitar. Now, I've been playing through a rig that I've built to be bright, to reamp some baritone material, a PRS Archon 50 into my two Axe Track ISO cabs, and what's amazing to me is at no point does this guitar ever get painfully bright. That's because it weirdly leans towards an acoustic sound more so than a Strat single coil thing, but I guess it's not really weird, it makes sense, because it's a sum of the parts. Strings that are basically fused to the wood because of the wraparound bridge that's anchored into the body, just like the set neck. There's no seams or excess, it's just undiluted. And even with such a simple design, there's no lack of adaptability because it's so responsive. It's responsive to your touch, and the output is responsive because of the electronics that are sophisticated and simple. I went into this expecting to have a nice overdub guitar option because I assumed it would have a one-dimensional thing. I knew it would be nice, I just wasn't expecting it to be so versatile, so I was happy to be wrong there, and I'm also happy I was wrong about the mechanical concerns that I had about it, most specifically intonation concerns with the bridge. Setting the intonation keeps notes in tune across the fretboard, and it's usually done with individual saddles. Here, it's just a bar, where the strings are inserted and then wrapped around to reach the tuning pegs. There's no way to adjust individual string lengths, so for a lot of people, including myself, who use alternate tunings or various string gauges, there's concerns about what you can achieve. So I thought the most chaotic test would be to play in a few different tunings without adjusting these little hex bolts that are there to give you some degree of control, and it was fine. In this video, I've used standard tuning, D sharp, drop D. I even tuned up a couple steps for an open tuning I use, and it was fine to the point I didn't notice any intonation issues. Now, there were tuning issues, because it's just not a good idea to tune to standard and then down and up and then down again. But I put that on the strings being exhausted and not the tuners, because it was stable at various points before I played it for dozens of hours, as you'll see by the pick dust in this video. I wouldn't change a thing personally, but you might remember the bridge from Stu Mac that I had to replace the stock bridge on an Epiphone Gold Glory because it was impossible for me to use the stock one. It was kind of a nightmare. But the stock bridge on there was a straight thing, and that had something to do with it. On this double cut, it's slanted, and so I think it's compensated more effectively. Moving on though, I was actually really surprised when I first picked it up from the case that it's as heavy as a normal Les Paul. And I was surprised at the return of Rosewood. I missed the memo on that when I ordered it from Sounds. I just thought it was cool and assumed it would have Laurel. But to have Rosewood back is great. The fretwork is immaculate, as I've come to expect from the entire Inspired by Gibson custom range. And the neck shape, even though they're saying it's a 60 slim taper, feels a little rounder and more C-shaped than the typical D shape that I've got used to on the normal Epiphones. The frets also feel a little shorter too, even though the specs online list them as medium jumbo. String slots at the nut are cut perfectly as well, so of course I like it, and I'm happy that Epiphone's continuing to do things with this range that are different instead of just repainting their same core models. I see why this was chosen specifically. 65 years later, this formula is as exciting as it's ever been, and this IGC model introduces modern benefits like consistency, affordability, and fancy Gibson P90s with old school hallmarks. I'm grateful to my partners at Sounds for sending it out after I asked them for it, and not having any expectations of me saying or not saying some things or even making a video at all. So if you're in the market for this or any gear, please use my link. The commissions really help me out. I also want to thank X5 for the wireless system that makes filming much easier. It's available at Sounds, and my newest partners at Guitar Tricks. You'll find a link to a free trial in my description here where you'll have access to 11,000 video lessons going back decades. It's great. I've been a forum member myself going back almost 20 years, so I'm happy to be partnered with them, and I'm going to take advantage of those lessons too. I've got a 1957 gold top from this series as well that a video is coming on soon, so please do subscribe if you want to check that out. I get asked a lot why my channel isn't bigger, and it really just comes down to subscribers. Sometimes people seem upset that I don't have more subscribers. So not only will you make me happy if you subscribe, you'll make the awesome people who watch my videos and support me happy as well. Thank you for watching, and thank all of you so much for your support.